and that is, what are we looking for? Renewing our contract with society once again. I'm going to take as my point of departure all the speeches that I didn't actually understand, but I kind of guessed at. I wish we had been given Tamil translations or English Tamil translations. I had a text message from the audience asking why I don't understand anything, why are there no translations? Well, I suppose because I'm seated on the stage, they think that I'm responsible, and I do feel responsible because I'm from the university community, right? So, okay, well, I will proceed. I hope the sweet sound of English gets translated into Sinhala and Tamil. In the last 20-21 years of my tenure, since I joined the university, FUTA has taken up strike action in a limited sense, thrice I think, including this time. I think the first time was 1992, and then 1996, and both those times, and this too, including this, were on wages, salary hikes. The first time, as I can remember, was during the just after the days of terror in the South, and it was primarily on the wages, salaries, but it was also about recovering our rights as a university community, to assemble, to negotiate, to talk about various issues in a very limited sense. The second time I was not here, but I think it was fairly narrowly on salaries. This time I discern a paradigm shift. It's very fashionable to talk of paradigm shifts in academic discourse, but a small paradigm. We are like moving to think about our role as people in the society. And that's why I call it renewing our contact with society. And this, I think, is a time, this time we've got this 1 or 2 months, where we are talking to the public, we are talking to ourselves, we are talking to each other about various different things, including our salary, to renew that time. Because we are also talking in tandem about the composition, the objectives, and the ideals of university education. And I think that's very, very important. We are asking for, in a very simple terms, a salary raise. That demand, we think and argue, is our right. It is our right because we are fulfilling a social function in the country. That social function is based on a contract, or if we don't like that word contract, involves responsibility. We are fighting to save the public university system and free education here. But for what? Why is education so important? Let me speak a little more on the role of education within the public sphere. And I will bring in here a figure that I suppose known to many, that is Antonio Gramsci, the Italian educationist. Antonio Gramsci spoke of 2 kinds of intellectuals. Everybody in this world, I think, is an intellectual. But in society, there are some people who carry the label of intellectual. Now we, in the university, we play the role of being an intellectual. And that role can be seen in 2 ways. The traditional intellectual and the organic intellectual. The traditional intellectual, I suppose, we all play the role of being traditional intellectuals in some way. propping up the system, the status quo, being hierarchical. But today, we are trying to think, how can we serve the society in ways that we can create hope in our country. Right. This is the abysmal level of primary school education, but we can ignore, we can't dismiss. I would have, maybe 15 years ago, I might have dismissed this as some isolated instance of tomfoolery, some idiotic thing. But this has spread throughout to every nook and every pore of the education system, and we have abdicated our right to intervene in this, but we have not done anything about this. And this is not even racist. This great work, this example that it's unintelligent. So whether it's knowledge or half knowledge, I don't know. But we are not we are not connected to the global economy. Even in the neoliberal selves, we are not connecting ourselves. We are just going back and back, pushing ourselves into some kind of an idiotic corner. And where are we? Where are the universities here? And I would say this is the time for us to bring up those issues. I repeat, we are today in a struggle to save free education, which is so very important to us. And that's why we are all here today. That's why the students are here today. So that we will be free. Free education is not for people, not for some of us to get richer and richer. That's not the meaning of free education. Free education means we want to be free. And we have to then think about the content of that freedom.